Hello, everyone. Welcome to this channel. I am William. Thank you for joining me here. Before I begin, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and watch this e-learning video until the end. Also, remember to switch on the notification button so that you will receive our latest e-learning videos continuously. Let me start with a question that might make you uncomfortable. If your entire internal audit function disappeared tomorrow, would your CEO notice? Or would they just rely on automated controls, continuous monitoring dashboards, and AI-driven risk engines? For decades, internal audit has been the guardian of compliance, the checker of boxes, the finder of errors. But here is the hard truth. Artificial intelligence is now doing those things faster, cheaper, and without fatigue. AI can sample 100% of transactions, not just 5%. It can flag anomalies in real time. It can write a draft audit report before you've finished your first coffee. So where does that leave you? This is not a doomsday prediction. It is a wake-up call. The internal auditors who survive and thrive will not try to out-process the machines. They will become strategic partners to the business. They will move from looking backward to looking forward, from saying no to saying how. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to give you a roadmap. First, why traditional internal audit is becoming obsolete. Second, the 3 critical shifts to become indispensable. Third, a practical 90-day plan to transform your role. Let's begin. Open your notes. Write this down. If your value is verifying what already happened, AI will do it for free. Think about the classic internal audit process: planning, walkthroughs, sampling, testing, evidence gathering, reporting. Every one of those steps can now be augmented or replaced by AI. Sampling? AI can analyze the entire population. No more statistical guesswork. Control testing? Continuous monitoring tools run tests every hour. Journal entry testing? Machine learning models spot fraud patterns humans miss. Report drafting? Generative AI turns work papers into a formatted report in seconds. Many internal auditors still spend 70% of their time on transaction testing and documentation. That is commoditized labor, and the CFO knows it. I recently spoke with a head of audit at a mid-sized bank. He told me, last year we used an AI tool to review 18 months of procurement cards. It found 47 policy violations in 20 minutes. My team took 3 weeks to do the same thing the year before. Now senior management asks me, why do we need 4 auditors for that? That is the question you must answer. But here is what the AI cannot do. It cannot read the room. It cannot sense that the operations director is hiding something because of a personal grudge. It cannot weigh the materiality of a finding against the company's risk appetite. It cannot recommend a remediation that fits the culture, not just the rule book. The old internal audit was a rear-view mirror. The new strategic partner is a GPS, and a GPS doesn't just tell you where you've been, it tells you which road to take next. So how do you evolve? You need 3 deliberate shifts, not small changes, fundamental rewiring. Stop asking, did they follow the policy? Start asking, is the policy still relevant? The business is moving faster than the control framework. Your job is to challenge whether the controls actually manage today's risks, not just yesterday's. A strategic internal auditor sits in strategy meetings, not just audit committee meetings. They say, before you launch that new product in Asia, here are 3 control gaps I've seen in similar expansions. That is proactive. That is value. AI cannot do that because it has no strategic context about this business, these people, this competitive landscape. Traditional audit reports tell you what went wrong last quarter. By then, the damage is done. A strategic partner uses AI to build predictive risk indicators. Imagine this. You feed your AI tool 3 years of internal audit findings, operational losses, and compliance issues. It identifies patterns. It tells you, When the Chicago warehouse exceeds 92% capacity, error rates spike 300% 2 weeks later. Now you warn the warehouse manager before the spike happens. You are not just auditing the past, you are auditing the future. That changes the conversation. Management stops seeing you as a nuisance and starts seeing you as an early warning system. This is the hardest shift. Many internal auditors pride themselves on independence and objectivity. That is essential, but it is often turned into distance and distrust. A strategic partner understands that the best control is a strong ethical culture. You don't just test controls. You assess the tone. You look at incentive structures. You ask, does our bonus system encourage people to hide bad news? You use AI to analyze employee sentiment from anonymous surveys, not to spy, but to spot brewing issues. AI can flag an unusual pattern of override transactions, but only a human auditor can sit with a manager and say, I'm seeing a lot of overrides in your department. Is something broken in the process, or are you being pressured to hit numbers? That trust cannot be automated. Now, a common mistake. Some internal auditors hear this and say, okay, I'll just learn to use the AI tool better. I'll become the AI expert. That is not enough, because the business is also using AI. If all you do is become a better operator of audit software, you are still replaceable, just by a cheaper junior person with the same tool. The real trap is thinking that automation is the goal. It is not. Augmentation is the goal. Automation means AI does the task, and you rubber stamp it. That leads to complacency and blindness to AI errors. Augmentation means you and the AI work together, but you remain the decision maker. You challenge the AI's findings. You ask, why did the model flag these transactions? Could it be a false positive driven by outdated training data? Here is an example. An AI tool flags 500 suspicious vendor payments. An automated auditor just accepts the list and starts investigating. A strategic partner asks, what is the false positive rate? Let me run a small sample manually first. They discover the AI has been flagging legitimate rush orders because the data label was wrong. They save the company thousands of wasted investigation hours. That is judgment. That is strategic. The most valuable internal auditor in the AI era is not the one who can run the most queries. It is the one who knows when to override the AI. When to say, the algorithm says this is low risk, but given the political sensitivity of this region, we need to audit it deeply anyway. That is human intuition layered on machine intelligence, and that is irreplaceable. Let's make this real. Here is your 90-day plan to transform from a compliance enforcer to a strategic partner. Days 1 to 30. Audit your own audit process. Map every task you do in a typical audit, which are repetitive, rules-based, and high volume. Those are candidates for AI. For example, transaction matching, reconciliations, formatting reports. Start using free or low-cost tools, like Power BI's AI visuals or a simple Python script, to automate those tasks. Track your time saved. That time is your new strategic capacity. Ask for a seat at one operational or strategic meeting per week, not an audit meeting. Listen, learn the business's real pain points. Then, bring a one-page risk assessment before the project launches, not after. Show management you can prevent problems, not just report them. Pick one high-risk process: travel and entertainment, procurement, IT access. Use your AI tool to analyze historical data and define 3 leading indicators, for example, manual journal entries after month-end, approvals outside normal hours. Set up a simple dashboard. Present it to the audit committee not as a report, but as a live risk monitor. Ask, would you like me to expand this to other areas? By day 90, you will not be the auditor. You will be the person who helps us avoid disasters. That is a strategic partner. Let me leave you with a final thought. Internal audit was never really about checking boxes. That was just the method. The true purpose is to protect and improve the organization. But for years, We confuse the method with the mission. AI is now stripping away the method. It is taking the sampling, the testing, the reporting. That is scary. But it is also a gift, because it forces you to focus on what only a human internal auditor can do: judgment, courage, and influence. The courage to tell a powerful executive that their pet project has hidden risks. The influence to change behavior without formal authority. The judgment to know when a rule should be bent for the greater good. No AI will ever have that. Not because AI isn't smart, but because AI doesn't have a conscience. And internal audit is, at its heart, a function of conscience. So, will you be replaced? Only if you cling to the old ways. But if you embrace AI as your analytical engine and yourself as the strategic navigator, you will become more relevant than ever. The clock is ticking. Start your 90 days tomorrow. Thank you for listening. If you found this video as useful, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and share it out with your friends and colleagues. Thank you, and have a great day ahead.